Just if I look at my phone, I could.
Is this my good side? Yeah. I don't think so. All right, you ready? All right, so, Steve, you go ahead.
All right, one to part of the meeting, 5:32 is the time, and please rise for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That was so nice. Okay, we're moving on to item 4, the administration oath of the oath of office for newly elected George Maxwell. You'll be sworn in. Are you ready? We're going to stand up. Repeat after me. I, George Maxwell, do solemnly swear
I, George Maxwell, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of trustee of the Board of Education
of trustee of the Board of Education
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on. Congratulations.
Practice on this.
Yeah.
Change that.
That's just what I was going to do. Yeah, you told me this. Okay. That's good.
Hi, how are you?
Is right? Repeat after me. I, Ronald M. Sarah, do solemnly swear
I, Ronald M. Sarah, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Superintendent of Schools
of the Superintendent of Schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Amen. Congratulations. Now that the oaths have been administered, the nomination of the President of the Board of Education, the District Clerk, me, will make a solicitation for nominations for the office of President of the Board of Education. A vote will be taken until majority is reached for one nominee. Election of the Board of Education. I would like to nominate George Maxwell. Second?
Second.
To accept the nomination?
I think you have to vote, right?
Okay, do you have to accept it? And
Oh,
I'm-
right, yes.
Okay. So all in favor?
Yes.
That's 5-0. Congratulations, you're president.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Maxwell.
And now, the meeting gets turned over to you, the president, for the election of the vice president.
Solicitation for nominations for the office of Vice President of the Board of Ed. Tom,
I nominate Dr. Edge.
second.
Second.
All in favor? Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Okay. Consent agenda vote.
Don't pick up.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Can we do simultaneously, or do you want to do different ones?
Yes.
Okay, Danielle
I was
and.
gonna answer no question.
Yes.
Simultaneously,
We
or-
can do them simultaneously.
Yes.
That was innocent, okay,
Yeah.
please rise again. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear
I, George Maxwell, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of state title
of President
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody's sworn in.
So you're welcome. That's fine.
Okay, so
Danielle has to- That's a nice letter.
isn't it?
History. 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 That's our history.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
How old is that? I'm not sure how.
We're only halfway through, so we don't have to budget for another one for a long time.
In the book, we got that too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where did that go back to?
The book.
Yeah. like
This
the
book
first-
is a newer one, the ones that were handed from Hannah from like, I think, 30s. I can see that. for you. This one just started in 2019.
Not a history on that.
Yeah.
Approve the consent agenda, asterisk, consent agenda items. Consent agenda items are approved by a single vote unless they are removed from the consent item prior to the vote.
Motion, second.
Second.
All in favor? Yes, motion carries unanimously.
This brings us all the way down to
Adjournment.
adjournment of the reorganization. We have an emotion to
Motion to resolve the reorganization meeting. Motion second. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion carries unanimously.
This moves us to the emergency response hearing. We have to call to order the public hearing.
Call to order.
Emergency response hearing as per Commissioner Regulation Part 155.17. School districts are required to develop district-wide school safety plans in alignment with building level emergency response plans. Pursuant to the same Commissioner regulation, a public hearing must be held to present the new plan. The public hearing for the district statewide safety plan will be held for 30 days, starting today through July 7th, 2021, and adopted by the board on August 25th, 2021.
So just to give you all updates on that document that has been provided, the only updates that were in that plan from prior years were names for the most part. As we've been going through it and as per the internal audit report on overall safety, there were some things in there that we had to just tweak a little bit, pull some things out and add a few in. But there were no major changes to our plans. This is a very broad plan. This is the public plan. The confidential plans are the building level plans, which do not get released. So this one will be posted up on the website. The prior year was already up there. We will be replacing that with this draft for public commentary, board comments over the next month. And then on August, we'll propose if there's any amendments or any questions that come about, we'll bring that to the board on August 25th and ask for an adoption so that we have it in place with the start of the new school year. Questions?
So we're gonna, there's a list of who was on, this is from last year or this year coming up?
This is now all the new stuff coming up.
Okay, 'cause Tom was on that.
Yes.
Yeah, so Tom needs to be
So there's different, we have the emergency response committee, and then there's this particular committee, which was the safety team.
Okay.
That would come together in that one particular emergency. So we have, the board committee is separate from that.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions on the plan itself? As I said, it's a very broad, it's a state document that gets provided to us, that we then kind of tweak for our own purposes, because not everybody is, witnessing similar issues.
But there is a state template that was created about 2 or 3 years ago.
That we use. So again, it will be posted up on the website for public comments, and we'll bring it forward at the August meeting with any comments that come to it.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion carried. Call to order the regular meeting, and that brings us to the superintendent.
So we have, right now, we have a UPK enrollment. We have completed our lottery. As you know, we have 2 locations. We have Starbright and Scope. Right now, Starbright has 27 students signed up. And as you also know, we were capped at 18 per class, so 36 at each location. Starbright currently is 27. The Scope location at Clayton Unique is 15. So both locations have room. And again, these numbers are typical for what we've seen in our UPK programs. However, because of the infusion of some federal funding and moving to a full day program, we really would like to see this maximized. So we're trying several things. We are reaching out to all of our 4-year-olds with special needs that we have on the books to try to make sure that they take advantage of the opportunity to come to our program. We are utilizing our Native American liaison to reach out to students on the reservation at 4 years old to try to make sure that they come in. And we are also going to be doing a direct mail to every home in the community, a postcard advertising this and saying that there still is one of these 2 locations. But at present, it is 15 at Scope and 27 at Starlight. So kind of just an update of where we're at with that. As far as the programs within our classes themselves, as you know, the federal money came a little bit late to the game, and so we did not get the kind of commitments we would have liked to have seen for our enrichment program. So we are going out we're not able to run those K-8 programs. However, we are trying for kind of a second round. So in mid to late July into August, we'd like to try to see if we can get more students in. A couple of things have changed. We did get a clarification today from the state that students under 18 years old will not have to wear masks in our schools, as well as any staff that is vaccinated. So that is a help. I think that there were some people that weren't necessarily looking forward to continuing the mask mandate in the schools. So hopefully that's something that might help to boost our enrollment in those programs. But we are running our E&L enrichment program. We have 33 students that came in today, seemingly very happy and enjoying, being in our school. So I thought that was really great.
Can I just ask,
Yes.
under 18, no masks in the vaccinated adults, that's only for the summer program?
As far as, I think that what we're going to see, unless we see, and this is speculation on my part, I think that this is a trial run what schools might look like in September, unless we see a significant spike in infection rates. I believe that this is probably the direction that we'll be heading.
Right.
But no, this is not official for September. No.
So it's just a scrutiny. That doesn't change when elementary students are still eating in the classrooms.
No, I think that things have changed enough that we can now open up our cafeterias, open up our gymnasiums, and things like that. However, everything is subject to conditions on the ground, so we will, make those determinations accordingly. We are still waiting for September guidance. We have not yet received that from the New York State Education Department. Once we receive that guidance, we will be reassembling our reopening teams to modify the existing plans we have to ensure that we can come back as fully as possible for September. So that work, again, obviously, we're hoping sooner than later, hoping for something before July 1st, but yet to be determined what that might look like.
If this funding from the enrichment that's not running, that was part of the, right, so if we don't use that, how we can.
We will shift that over and we will change, so there are,
Which
there
goes
are.
back to, as we were saying, it's a fluid plan, so
It's
we're gonna have to
flexible.
modify that plan now to reallocate these funds.
So the American Cares.
Correct.
This is correct. The American Rescue Plan.
And so what essentially we can do is, we can reallocate this money towards other things, or we can carry over to such a year, so we are okay with that. And the plan was put together quickly, over the course of a month, required about a month's worth of comments.
So we're not at risk of losing that money,
No.
but we're at risk of not spending the mandated percentages?
No, I think we're well within those thresholds. I don't think that, and no matter what we do, we will ensure that we save for the spending. So I don't think we need to worry too much about that. We are running our summer school program at the high school. There are 8 courses that are being run. Right now, 26 students registered. There is predicted about close to 50 credits to be covered in that program. And 2 and possibly 3 students that are going to be able to graduate in August. So we're optimistic about that. Other than that, we are running college application workshop. Ms. Marino is running that. And that will be 2 or 3 hours, including novels for students and things like that, as well as college searches, college application, and those kinds of things. There is also a pre-play drama workshop in Parkin. Obviously, is somebody that is well equipped to run that, and we look forward to seeing those students and look at that if we get that moved around.
One more question. There's a pre-K. That's not one of those things where if we don't use the slots next year, we get less money based on usage. Okay.
We only get paid for what we use this year.
Occupancy turn.
Yeah, we're doing everything we can to try to increase the enrollment of these students in the program as possible. I think that early intervention is something that can be huge for many students to get acclimated to school setting, and get a good head start in the school understanding.
Do we have any idea what the number is of that age group in living?
We have the long-range planning study that predicts in the 100 range. I don't know exactly what that number is, but it's not significant.
Okay.
Based on that.
Okay. Is anybody good?
Mhm.
That brings us to questions and comments regarding tonight's agenda only.
Better?
Anyone?
Okay.
You sure? Okay. The Board of Education is asked to accept the minutes of the following meeting as prepared by the district clerk. Minutes of the meeting of the Board of Education of June 16th, 2021. Motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. That brings us to consent agenda.
No discussion of that before.
After.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, consent agenda vote. Be resolved, a motion to approve the consent agenda as first agenda items. Our consent agenda items are approved by a single vote unless they are removed from being a consent item prior to the vote.
Motion. Second. Discussion.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, there were, okay.
yeah, so we have a motion here that's kind of last minute, but regarding 2 coaches,
So we can add on.
and then on Laura Fiss and Fred Del Giorno. Did you want to explain that, or we go ahead and we'll adopt it? And
So we'd like to entertain a motion to remove Laura Fiss, JV tennis, and Fred Del Giorno, middle school tennis, off the recommended appointments in section 8, personnel, appointments by the coaches and supervisors. So, and I'll explain in the discussion.
Okay,
So
so
just think-
when we motion now, this is going to be for all consent. Right? Or just, right? So,
No, it's,
This is to take them off, and then we'll have to vote on the consent agenda.
all right, so this is just a motion to remove Lauren Orifice and Fred Delchon. Motion,
Motion.
second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion carried.
All right, so in the discussion, I would just say that they're aware that they're being, it's not that they're being blanketly removed. Jeremy had indicated that he was looking to move a couple of coaches into other areas, and that it's not a reflection of them in any way whatsoever. They will have coaching appointments, but that there was another teacher that was interested in tennis, and so some things were moving around a little bit. So by August, that will be 100% completely settled, and we just want to verify that clearly there was nothing
Fred,
onto it.
all in favor? Yes, motion carries unanimously. That brings us back to consent agenda vote. Motion for the consent agenda again.
Motion.
Second,
second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. That brings us to the end of that. But do you have any questions or do you desire to address us on any topic? We are by ourselves tonight with Larry, so the general public, no questions. That's going to bring us to the adjournment of the regular meeting. Motion.
Yeah, adjourn to executive session.
Yeah, so it's written differently because we have adjournment of the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, so let's adjourn the regular meeting for purpose of executive session, discussion of personnel, contracts. I think that's it, right? The public discussion of which would result in an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Right from that.
George, now that you did that, because we're live, was there anybody who has, could they?
Oh, we're not.
They have to
Yeah,
come
they have to
now.
come now, yeah.
We're back to,
Back to, they have to be here when they can
we're
watch.
back to the PC one.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion. Second. All in favor?
And I would just say, just in discussion, that we do not intend to carry out any other business in this meeting.
No, we do not. We're not coming out of executive doing that. So if you're watching at home, this is the end of the meeting. All in favor? Yes, motion carries unanimously. Next regular Board of Ed meeting is Wednesday, August 25th, 2021. Executive session at 6. Action meeting approximately at 7 o'clock here in the boardroom. And if you didn't hear us, just if you do have questions, you have to start attending the meetings again. I don't think we can do it remotely anymore. So please make sure if you have things you want to discuss with us, please come down. We'd love to see you here. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
We're gonna take a picture of you guys. Carry this.
Yeah, we can do the picture.